Indonesia is renowned for having a wealth of culture and art. Indonesia's diversity have also created various local cultures and languages unique to each region. That cultural diversity has enticed many foreigners who ended up loving Indonesia. One such Indonesian culture enthusiast is Dannicky, also called Kang Dan. He was born in Chicago, who deeply admires the Pasundan art and culture. His love for the Sundanese culture prompted him to come and live in the city of Bandung, where he became even more interested in learning Sundanese art. Currently, Kang Dan is learning the art of shadow puppetry or wayang golek. He has also mastered the art of playing several traditional musical instruments such as the flute, harp, and drum.
Whoa, look at that! So many plants here.
Aya seueur tanaman ieu teh.
Can you tell?
Janda bolong.
But most interestingly,
Really? Is it
Kang
janda
Dan is also fluent in speaking the local Sundanese language.
Jangan bohong.
So what's that? Is that janda bolong KW1?
Let's get to know more about Kang Dan only at C Morning Show.
Kawe.
Actually, that's really bolong, you know?
Bolong kieu.
Sampurasun, tebangkeun abdi mah cepot. Emang bodor ya. Lucu, funny. Tapi cepot bijak oge ya. Bijak. Tapi terus terang abdi tiasa nyanyi, joget. Boga ka boga jauh, mentas laut, leuweung gunung, asik, tapi apel teu bingung, cukup halo, na telepon, ya hatur nuhun pisan, aya cepotan, ya nebangkeun ya bule ya, Dan.
Kang Dan, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, everyone watching. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show. As you just saw, that American Dannicky, or fondly called Kang Dan, was giving us a glimpse and his appreciation of the Sundanese arts and culture.
Yes, Kang Dan, how are you? Good morning.
Oh, I'm doing great. Hatur nuhun pisan, biasa ngiring acara si TV.
Kang Dan, kumaha damang?
Sae pisan teh kumaha sabulitna.
Saya pisan oge. I can speak Sundanese. You speak Sundanese better as me, of course.
Yeah, than I think anyone in the studio here.
Right. So, Kang Dan, can you tell us the story, how you end up here in Indonesia, especially with your Sundanese language and everything?
Yes, well, I am a teacher. I have a teaching degree, and I was immediately invited to teach at an international school in Indonesia. And so at the time, I didn't know anything about Indonesia, as knew many Americans. But over the process of living here, I fell in love with the Sundanese arts as I taught in West Java in the city called Bandung.
Okay.
And I just fell in love. It had me coming back, and finally I met my wife here, and I'm here to stay.
Oh, you married with the Mojang Bandung ya, Kang?
Mojang Priangan.
Mojang Priangan. Okay.
That's a great story. Now, Kang Dan, I want to ask you, you came back multiple times and you fell in love. What makes you love Indonesia?
Well, number one, of course, the ethnic traditions that we really don't have in America, being that, the Native Americans were put to the, had unfortunate experiences with, people of my descent many years ago. Whereas in Indonesia, these not just the bloodlines, but many of the traditions are still alive.
Yeah.
In some places it's very strong, and in other places like in West Java, it's extremely strong, and it's so fun to dig up these treasures of culture that they have that many people don't know about across the world.
Yeah. Since you open your performance with you being a dalang from the very famous character of the West Java, it's Chapot. Can you tell us more, or you can explain more to us? Since when did you learn to be dalang for wayang golek, and what do you know about wayang golek, Kang?
Yes, well, I fell in love with the wayang golek from a very direct experience in Griharja Tiga. This is where the famous puppeteer, he really preserved the art. His name is Aba Asep Sunandar Sunaria. He has continued the tradition with his children and with many that he has taught, and there are now so many dalang puppeteers that came from there. So I was so fortunate to learn about this just from directly going there and meeting his children. And these puppets are at many different, we call them hajatan, we call the weddings and different events. And Americans love these. So people across the world love them when they just see how funny it is. They don't even need to speak Sundanese to see how humorous characters like Chapot and the whole bunch are.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So tell us, how long have you been learning about this wayang golek puppeteer, and maybe how much more do you have to learn about wayang golek still?
Oh, I have just scratched the surface. I have been exposed to it for, over the course of 9 years.
9 years, wow.
I just am a big fan, really. And there are many Americans who are real experts at how to do all the intricate movements. I just am a fan of the arts. So I have many eons more to go before I would even really be being a master.
Do you have any favorite character of wayang golek, Kang?
Yeah, this is him.
The
Chapot
Chapot.
is my favorite. A very good Chapot puppet, because he has not just the humor, but the wisdom. So he is what we call a kabayan. He really can be an asset to the community with his wisdom and his humor. You don't really need a big trial if you have a big problem. Somebody just talk to Chapot.
Okay, yes.
So I wanted to ask you, Kang Dan, Indonesia, there's a lot of different ethnic groups, a lot of different specific cultures, but what specifically about Pasundan art that makes you very interested, that you learn in detail about Pasundan art specifically?
Yeah, well, one is that I landed here, but I feel so fortunate to have landed in West Java because when I go back to the United States, many people know Bali and they love Bali, and famous all over the world. But West Java has its own traditions that are so unique, and people don't know about them. So there's so much to teach people about, and so much to explore that we really don't know in the United States and across many parts of the world.
Okay, since you mentioned about there's a lot of people who didn't actually know the specific things from West Java that you already experienced. It really has a lot of good things from there. And then you are also fluent in Sundanese. For how long have you been learning the language?
Oh, again, over my course of 9 or 10 years, it's been a process of absorbing. And for many years, I really could not speak a word. And I had no confidence. But after a while, after I started absorbing some words, I started to give it a try. And people here in West Java were so helpful to me. I spoke 3 words. They said, "Oh, you speak very well." And they started going, "Please." pretty soon, you're thrown into it, and then you start learning more and more vocabulary.
Right.
So it's been a process, and it's still a big process because there are many different layers of the language. For a very high form of people, we're talking as equals, somebody younger.
Yeah.
And so they're completely different vocabularies. So it's a very challenging language.
So
Right.
what tips maybe do you have for maybe Indonesians who are looking to learn Sundanese, or even maybe foreigners who are also looking to learn Sundanese? You having mastered the language, what tips would you give for beginners?
I would definitely take advantage of messaging people and saying you want to learn more. You message with the few words that you know, and your Sundanese friend will respond back, and you can put all of those words directly into your little personal dictionary and study those.
Okay.
Nice
Kang, since you're talking Sundanese very well, can you show us one or two sentences in Sundanese? More sentence, please.
Yeah, maybe just a simple greeting, yeah?
Right.
First we would Sampurasun. Yeah, Sampurasun.
Okay.
Sampurasun.
Sampurasun, and then?
Yeah. Wilujeng Tepang. So
Wilujeng Tepang. Okay, Kang, that's really interesting. So we already know about how you learn Sundanese. You love wayang golek, you love the art, especially from West Java. Can you tell us more? How do you promote Indonesian culture, especially from West Java to Americans, probably to your country?
yes, I've been very fortunate over the years to have a good relationship with my home city of Chicago, our Consulate General of Indonesia, KJRI. I've had many friends who have been so supportive and who have also had events to promote the Indonesian culture, the different, not just from West Java, but from all of the islands that we can possibly, there's so many islands.
Yes.
And yeah, I have been fortunate to be an MC at those shows. Recently, I got a chance to talk with the Rumpun Wargi Pasundan. They are Sundanese people in America, based in Washington, D.C. And they had so many ideas. We just had a great Zoom together, and they had so many good ideas to promote Sundanese culture in America. One of them being to teach Americans the kachapi, one of my favorite instruments from West Java, the string zither. And so, yeah, there's opportunities like that, especially as we look online. We're becoming more familiar with the online communities with our current situation. There are more opportunities for America and Indonesia to come together and to share their cultures.
Oh, that's fun.
Because again, I think especially because of this pandemic, a lot of things have shifted online, as Kang Dan just mentioned. So it's easier to connect with people that they don't need to meet physically in person anymore, and hopefully it's easier to pick up.
Yes. Okay, Kang Dan, please don't go anywhere. Please stay with us because we will have more chit-chat with you. And we are going to look at some other musical instruments from Indonesia. Worth attention for sure. Stay with us on the C Morning Show on C Today.